Good morning, Art One. We are moving on to noses today. So look at the handout that I have attached in our classroom, and you're going to draw different noses, actually 4 to be exact. You're going to draw male, female, your famous person, and then I want you to draw another nose that has something interesting, whether it's a nose ring, an old wart, or whatever it is that you might find interesting to add to these noses. So as you can see on here, there's some different steps to drawing a nose. They've started with this bottom part here, okay, which is this part here. And then they've added the outer curve, which is this here. And really that's about the same. I think they just go up a little bit higher. Oh, and they've added this little part here. You might not always have to add actual hard lines for the bridge of the nose. That's when you're going to really use your blending stick. And same thing here. What they've done is they've just added some light lines on the outside. Then you're going to begin using your blending stick and adding those details. Okay, so let's get started here. So I have my book that we've made. Remember, made your book, done your 3 sets of eyes, female, male, and your celebrity. So let's move on to the next page. I'm going to set that aside. And so we have our noses. So we're going to do what we see here. So we're going to draw, and if you want, maybe divide your paper up into 4 sections so you have room to draw and you give yourself plenty of room. So we're going to start here with the curve of the nose, just like we see in our handout. So try your best to make it symmetrical. And add the curve of the nostril. So you can see now I've done step 1 and 2. And what they've done in step 3 is they've added the bridge, that bone that you have right there in the middle of your nose. So, but make sure it's light. Don't do any harsh lines, because what's going to make your nose look realistic is by adding the shading, by using your handy dandy blender. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to darken up the nostrils. So I'm actually going to make it like an oval shape. And same thing on this side, kind of make it an oval shape. And the darkest part of your nose is going to be down here at the bottom. I'm just going to clean these lines up here. Actually, I'm going to erase that. Erase those lines. I'm going to bring this line down here a little bit. And then you're going to have here, so now let's move on to the blending stick. And I am going to begin first by smoothing out my nostrils. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start bringing up that shading and softening up some of the lines that I've made. Because what's going to make your nose look realistic is by not seeing any harsh pencil lines. Because when you look at your nose has soft features. So you want to make sure you don't have those harsh pencil lines, because that's what's going to make it look unrealistic. You can see now how I've done that. I'm going to put this down. So now I might use my pencil again and just get some more real lightly, some more lead on here. back to my blending stick. So when you're looking up different noses, go ahead and use Google and just Google maybe an actor that you like, or maybe just look up male noses, female noses. So you have a photo to reference, so you can try to make it look like that person's nose. Okay, I'm gonna soften up some of these lines because I feel like I'm making his nose look too round. And just remember, you can always go back and erase some of these. I think I'm gonna erase that line too. Okay. So let's try and smooth this out a little bit more. And you see here, you can still see my harsh pencil lines. So I might bring the nostril down a little bit more here. And if your pencil lines are still showing too much, you can always go in and erase. Just be careful when you try to remove the erase marks that you don't smudge your artwork. Let's try and smooth that out now. Okay, that's better. And depending on the light of the photo, you might only have to highlight one side. So see how this side's a little bit darker? There we go. So now I'm also going to shade underneath. So there's going to almost always be a shadow underneath the nose. Okay. Does his nose look crooked? Ooh, it does look a little crooked, doesn't it? Let's fix him up a little bit here. Maybe I do need to add that line. Okay, there we have a nose. It still looks a little crooked. He must have been a boxer. But there's a nose. So you can see the tool that I used the most was this blending stick. Start by drawing just the nostrils and the curve of the bottom of the nose. And use your blending stick the most. So as you can see, I really don't have any harsh lines. Okay? Have fun.